Hi all, welcome to the third lecture of the module Training and Development. In this particular lecture, we will talk about training need analysis. Whenever we are going to implement the training and development initiative in an organization, it has to be structured and well planned before the implementation. Therefore, in order to do that, at first, we need to understand what exactly the need of the organization for training and development initiative. Until and unless we are not able to identify the individual, organizational, and departmental training need, we cannot implement the process effectively. Because anything and everything cannot be taught to the employees. It has to be very much focused towards the business goal of the organization, towards the career aspiration and the roles performed by an individual, and definitely whatever the skills gap has been identified in the organization as a part of their existing practices, the training need analysis has to be done, and based on that the implementation of the training and development need will happen. Therefore, the training need analysis is the first step of a training development process in an organization. Now, whenever we are talking about the term training need assessment, we understand it's kind of systematic method of determining the training need exists, and it does what training is required to fulfill the gap in the organization among the existing level of skill set and the desired level of skill set of an individual, and definitely what are the gap in the workforce in order to achieve the desired business objective of an organization at an organization level or at a departmental level. Now, if we ask the question, how do we analyze the need of the training? The number one reason or the number one process to analyze the need of the training, whenever there is a performance discrepancy in an individual, every individual has to showcase or has to demonstrate certain skill set in order to perform in a specific role. Now, if there is any gap in the performance, if there are any gap in the deliverables, obviously the performance is not up to the mark. That point of time, the training need can be identified. What are the areas where the person require a kind of training to achieve its desired performance objective. Now, it also reason to conduct training need analysis when we need to identify the deficiency. We then determine whether the employee lack the key skills area, whether what is the benchmark for evaluation of training, and make sure training is provided to the right people. And next one is increases the motivation of training. So therefore, the step-by-step process of a training need analysis would be, at first you need to understand the performance need, you need to identify the reason, then you need to check whether it is connected with the key performance area. We also need to connect it with the benchmark and make sure the training is provided to the right people. Everyone doesn't need the same kind of training. Maybe a person is lack of one particular technology, another person is good in that, maybe working in the same project. So blindly implementing the same technology or the same training to all the individuals is definitely not the right process. Yes, there are multiple level of training. It starts from the induction and then it goes to a individual training need, then organizational training need. The individual training need is definitely very much individual person specific, but on the other hand, the orientation or the organization level training, most of the cases it's very much generic. It's mostly applicable to all the new joinees, to all the existing employee, to align them with the business of the organization. Sometimes the functional training also fall into this category, but the technical training, the training related to the specific role, is very much specific to the individual. You cannot apply that blindly to all individuals. The identification of the individual has to be there, and based on that the training must be planned to impart it to the right person. Therefore, if we talk about training need analysis, it's actually training needs equal to job and organizational requirement minus employee specification. So at first, yes, in general, you will understand what is the requirement of the job and what is the requirement of the organization. These are the two brief pillar or the two most important pillar of a training need analysis. You need to understand what are the skill sets, what are the functional, technical, behavioral skill sets required to perform in a job. Plus, what are the different types of skill set in terms of functional, technical skill set required to perform in an organization. And then you identify the need of the training among the specific employee and impart the training to that person. Therefore, ideally, the training need analysis can be divided into three parts. The number one part is individual training needs. Number two is group training needs. Number three is organizational training needs. Therefore, if we are talking about training need analysis, we have to identify at first the individual training needs. Then we need to identify what are the group training needs in a specific project, in a specific department, to perform a specific function in that department, and the organizational training need. Individual training need is mostly related to different skill set or different technology, sometimes different behavioral and functional skill set. Group training needs, again, it can be technical, it can be little bit of functional, process oriented as well. Organizational training needs is mostly functional or process oriented. It's most likely not really technical or skill oriented training. It's mainly the functional process oriented training which is required to perform in the organization as per their business need. Now, if we go to the process to identify the training needs through the organizational need, we'll understand it includes the analysis of the objective, resource utilization, environmental scanning, and other organizational climate, organizational strength and weakness in different areas, in different machineries, level turnover, market share, marketing areas, production schedule, raw materials, all these things will come into the picture. So at first, we need to analyze the organization. What is the nature of business? What is the market condition? How much resources are available? How much raw materials are available? What is the workforce design? All these things will come into the picture whenever we are identifying the training through the organizational need. Now, whenever we are talking about the departmental analysis, departmental strength and weakness, including special problems specific to that department, will come into the picture, and what are the technical skill or functional skill and knowledge is required to operate in that department is very important. Say for example, if you are working in a data entry or as a data entry operator, obviously the basic data entry technical knowledge must be there. If you're working in a sales department, you must be open to travel, you must have a good communication skill, you must have negotiation and convincing skill as well. Therefore, department also have very specific training need as per the function of the department and as per the business need of that specific department for the organization. Now, job role analysis, again, it's very much related to the job role. What are the different technical skills to perform in a job? It is across the department, it is across the organization. Say for example, the basic job role required to be a team lead, to be a project manager, to be a delivery manager is almost the same. To be a project manager, you need to understand the basic functionality of a project. What are the different life cycles of a project? How to manage a project to different types of system. For the team leading position, you need to know about people management, team bonding, managing team members, working together. All the skill sets must be there. It doesn't depend on which department you are, but actually it depends on your role. It is definitely connected as per the role. So whenever you are coordinating or scheduling any training related to job role analysis, it must be done across the department throughout the organization. And another one is manpower analysis, when individual strength and weakness in the area of job knowledge skill is also being identified. Therefore, it's like, it's not applicable to all the project managers. It's not applicable to all the team leads. Maybe one person is not able to perform in that specific role of a project manager and team lead as per the requirement of the role, as per the requirement of the department and the organization. A person working in a sales doesn't have proper negotiation convincing skill or communication skill, it can be a problem. It has to be addressed. That proper training must be imparted to that person in order to perform as per the requirement of the job. Therefore, we can briefly segregate the entire training need into organizational need, departmental need, job role need, manpower or individual need. All this information can come through performance management, manpower planning, or individual need can be identified through primarily from the performance assessment, or maybe different types of feedback and different types of day-to-day delivery issues. Job role analysis can be done through the overall analysis, manpower planning of the organization, sometimes through the performance related exercise as well. Departmental analysis is very specific to the project. It comes mostly from the third party like client, or sometimes from the management as well, or sometimes from the project manager, but it's definitely not individual specific. An organizational level is always comes from the top management, sometime as per the market need, how the market is behaving, how the market is growing, what is the overall situation of the organization, what is this vision and mission of the organization in future. Based on that, the organizational need can be identified. Therefore, in different level, different types of processes would be helpful to derive the training need, and based on that, the training would be implemented to the individual level, group level, role level, and at an organizational level as well. Hopefully, this presentation lecture will helpful for you to understand the training need analysis. There would be a small sample training policy in the coursework part of the course, where you will understand about the different types of aspects you must consider whenever you are implementing a training initiative, and how to form a training policy in an organization, how to conduct it. And also at the end of this session, end of this entire module, there will be a small quiz to understand your level of understanding. Thank you for listening.